What's going on? This is Terrence Manning. This is My Thoughts Uncut. Today, we're going to talk about Trump. Yes, we're going to talk about Trump's response to the protesters, and we're going to talk about Trump's response to the tracked GOP lawmakers. Yes, they were being surveillance unknowingly. So, we're going to deep dive into that. We're also going to talk about the craziness of these protesters, and they don't know why they're protesting. So I'm gonna show you some clips on a clip about that. Let's get started.
What is your response to the protest?
Who are you with?
I'm with the AP.
With AP?
What's your response to the protest over the weekend, the No Kings protest on Saturday?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Besides San Francisco, are there other cities you're actively looking at for the National Guard right now?
Yeah. What about it?
I'm just wondering if you care to comment on that.
Well, we've used the National Guard to be very successful in Memphis. You can see the numbers are falling like rocks. Washington, D.C., Chicago is getting better, even though we're going through a lot. You know, we're trying to do it in a very nice way. I'm allowed, as you know, as president, like 50% of the presidents have used the Insurrection Act. We can use that. And everybody agrees you're allowed to use that, and there's no more court cases, there's no more anything. We're trying to do it in a nicer manner, but we can always use the Insurrection Act if we want. I mean, you take a look in the past, one in particular president used it 28 times during the course of our presidency. So we're allowed to do that. We thought we could do it in a very nice way. All we want to do is have safe cities. We're not looking for anything that would be spectacular other than crime-free become spectacular. We want to have great crime-free cities. So I'd be allowed to use, if I wanted, the Insurrection Act, and then all of this nonsense would go away. You have the absolute right. It's the strongest power a president has, and you have the absolute right to do it. We wanted to go this route, but we get sued every time you look at somebody. You look at somebody the wrong way and you end up getting sued. We just want no crime. We want to have crime-free cities.
So there you go. Our president just said he wants crime-free cities. Does that sound like a king? Does that sound like someone who wants all the power and break laws? No, doesn't. It's funny because there's about 80% of people in Memphis that did not vote for Trump, but yet he's helping them. And I actually got that from a conversation I had with someone that commented on one of my videos. It was a smart person, so I give credit to that person. Also, it's like a revolution of common sense ever since Trump regained the presidency. He shouldn't have lost, but that's neither here or there. It's like everything that's common sense, Democrats go the opposite way of it. It makes no sense. Now we're going to take a look at what Trump has said about the lawmakers who were basically spied on. Let's take a look at that.
On. I mean, we've got reports that Congress collected 30 million lines of phone data during the January 6th investigation. They tapped the phones of 8 sitting lawmakers.
That's crazy.
What can you do to prevent this kind of surveillance? And how
that is
high up
crazy.
the chain did this go?
I think it went right up to the top. And I think it started with Obama, with Comey going up and giving me a briefing in 2016, 2015, the end of 2015 and 2016. And then I said to him, who knows about this? He said, President Obama, his wife, and Joe Biden. They sat in the Oval Office talking about it. But it went all the way through. Obama was involved. Biden was involved, everybody. And then they got this guy, deranged Jack Smith, a lunatic. And they put him in because he was the meanest prosecutor you could find. He was sort of a failed prosecutor because he failed he'd fail because he'd always go too far. And now he really went too far. And we'll see, but you had 8 senators and I guess a couple of congressmen and some other people. But you had, maybe worse than that, you had a House raid of the ex-president of the United States, who actually won the second election by a lot.
Were they looking for that report on Russia collusion?
I heard that they were looking because they thought there was a report bad about them. They thought I had it, which I didn't have. I didn't have anything of any merit. But they were looking, and I also had the Presidential Records Act. You know,
They
I had
were
the right to
guilty
have
of
all this.
something.
I had that right
So
to
they
have
looked
it.
at him.
Only the president has that right. The vice president doesn't have that right, but the president does. But they were looking for they thought I had bad things on them because they knew how bad they were.
So was it
If
a
they weren't
conspiracy?
bad, they wouldn't have known that.
Do you expect there will be charges that there was a
I
conspiracy
don't know about
against you?
charges. You know, I'm allowed.
There you have it. They were spying on GOP lawmakers because they thought Trump had something on actually themselves. The guilty blames everybody when they're actually doing the crime. We're going to take another look at a response to a protester. This one's pretty funny. She has no idea why she's protesting, none whatsoever. And I will put the link of the person that posted this in the bottom so you guys can look at it whenever you want to as well.
So what brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
A couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
So what brings you out?
What was that, people? What was that? Some of the comments, if you guys can't see, she was sent by McDonald's. Someone said this got to be an actor. She's protesting Burger King. So she tried to play a word on the word Kings and Burger King with the sandwich. I get it, but it's cheesy. And then this one person said, glad she showed up prepared to defend her position. She got no clue what's going on. And these are the people that are there just randomly protesting. These people are paid. I would say close to 80% are paid protesters. They hand out flyers on what to say and they just read it. They don't know why they're there. They're just trying to get money. And let's go to another one where Cory Booker, he's just repeating the same thing over and over again.
This is what democracy looks like.
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 So that's all it. That's all the video. So they said this is what democracy looks like. They are out protesting about Trump being a king, yet they're out freely speaking what they believe and what they think, which would counter what they say about Trump being a king. A king wouldn't allow you to protest and say things against him. They're saying whatever they want, whenever they want. Also, would a king try to stop fentanyl from coming into the country? Would a king stop child trafficking into the country? Would a king try to stop American citizens getting their jobs and not having illegal immigrants here committing crimes and taking jobs from U.S. citizens? Would a king put the country first and then decide to help out others? Would a king try to stop as many wars as he can and prevent as many wars as he can? Would a king do all this? No. Trump is the president. He's trying to change the dynamic of what our country has become the last 4 years and just in general. Trump has been about US first for many years. These people know this. These people actually loved him before he became president. Just go look at it for yourself. You can research and you can see clips of him with Whoopi Goldberg. You can see clips of him with Oprah. He was always on Oprah. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I will see you next time. Also, share. Have a good one.